You, as I say, you are kind of upsetting, triggering, you might say, a lot of people, because you've dared to point out that some female football pundits are not perhaps there on merit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I just believe the best person for the job should get the job. I just think we send the wrong message. If we're putting people in position, not because of their skills and their attitude and, you know, their ability, then I just think we send a dangerous message going forward. And look at societies, I'm only 41, but it's changed a hell of a lot in a short space of time. And I don't think it's changed for the better because of, you know, kind of DI and inclusion.
Joey Barton has been a problem for decades.
This week, Barton has stirred up a sexism scandal by launching a furious broadside against female pundits analysing men's football on television. It all began with a post saying women shouldn't be talking with any kind of authority in the men's game. Come on, let's be serious. It's a totally different game. I cannot take a thing they say seriously in the men's arena.
You can't be there to fit this woke agenda that we've currently got going on in society. And it's not just one or two, it's been taken over, you know, and it ruins the experience for most men.
He pigeonholed women sportscasters and pundits as fitting the woke agenda.
And I think we want to see a decrease in misogyny, a decrease in racism, a decrease in sexism. And that is the whole purpose of DEI, you know, bringing down these barriers. But when they force it on you, and they force it on you, and it's poor quality, poor journalistic standards, then you get a rise in everything it was meant to defeat in.
And on he went. Fast forward to present day.
Former Rangers player Joey Barton has been found guilty at Westminster Magistrates Court of assaulting his wife at their family home in southwest London in June of 2021. Barton attacked Georgia Barton at their house in Kew after a drunken night out with two other couples. The court heard that Barton also threatened to fight his wife's brother and father in a verbal disagreement about a family matter, having kicked Mrs. Barton in the head. The former Jails man admitted he drank 6 to 8 drinks when the attack unfolded and told the court there had been a disagreement and that he stupidly took a mate's side. He then denied the assault charge. Barton was due to face trial in 2022 after pleading not guilty, but it was halted after Georgia retracted her claims. The High Court subsequently ruled last year that the trial could go ahead and that the previous decision to drop the case was wrong in principle.
You heard correctly. I'm aware that many stateside have no idea who this individual is, but if you are a footy fan, and if you have followed the Premier League for some time, you know who this person is. And what I'm going to do here is go over the case and then also how he is a racist bigot who belongs nowhere near the game that is so beautiful. And the fact that he has been given chance after chance after chance is astounding to me. I have never seen someone who should be given less chances, yet is allotted them over and over again. So let's start with the case, and then we'll move into his criminal history. He is a former player for City, Newcastle, QPR, Burnley, along with a few others. Via The Athletic, the court was told how Barton pushed his wife, Georgia, to the ground before kicking her in the head at their home. Okay? ESPN, Barton pushed his wife to the ground, kicked her in the June 2021 incident at their home in southwest London. She sustained a lump on her forehead and a bloody nose. The Guardian added, 2 other couples were at the house when the argument occurred, with friends stepping in to pull Barton away from his wife. They also add, the trial, originally due to be heard in 2022, was delayed because Georgia Barton retracted her allegations. And they heard that the 38-year-old called the police shortly after 11 p.m. to, quote, report she had been hit by her husband. The outlet wrote Barton was asleep at midnight. When arrested, he was still intoxicated. He didn't give a statement. The BBC said Barton was drinking with the 2 other couples while the kids were sleeping. Barton threatened to fight his wife's dad and brother over a disagreement. He would be given a 12-week suspended prison sentence, meaning he was spared any jail time.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStrom Show. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
Where many Barton defenders make their case is on the fact that Georgia Barton later sent a letter to prosecutors retracting those allegations. Per the court, she had a bloody nose and that lump, which was considered golf ball size, according to some reports. In addition, the court heard the 999 call she made to police where she clearly states, quote, "Me husband's just hit me in the house. He's in the house. I'm outside." The Athletic wrote Barton's wife, quote, "was upset and emotional when making the call," close quote. That's when police noticed that golf ball size lump on her forehead. Her nose was still bleeding when tended to. She would then repeat the same allegations to the cops as she did over the phone. A direct quote, "I've been pushed down and kicked about and stuff. He said he was going to fight with my brother and my dad." Although she would appear on police body cam saying all of this, she'd later in court defend her husband and say, "I am no victim in this case." The judge concluded the pair were lying about what happened. He would admit in court, Barton, to having a temper problem, but deny the assault. Quote, "If I kick someone in the head, there would be a lot more damage than what's alleged in this case." Oh, okay. Barton wrote in the wake of the decision on Twitter, his social media platform of choice, really disappointed in the magistrate's decision, especially after a judge 2.5 years ago in Wimbledon magistrates ruled in my favor. "I intend to appeal this decision to a higher court, the Crown Court, and whilst this process is ongoing, that's all I will say on the matter." He has gone after the judge in the case on social media as well. Now, this is the same guy who in 2008 was jailed for 6 months because at 5 a.m., he and a few family members went to McDonald's. Barton would confront a group of people, knock one man to the ground, straddle him, punch him roughly 5 more times, all while a family member threw food at the man on the ground. Then Barton would punch him another 15 times. He'd also pummel a 16-year-old, breaking his teeth in the process. Barton faced a fine for that too. A year earlier, he was arrested on suspicion of assaulting a taxi driver, along with criminal damage. As a member of City, Barton was in Thailand. The club went on a tour until he was not. A 15-year-old Everton fan chided Barton, so the footballer brawled with the schoolboy. At a City Christmas party, Barton poked a cigar in the face of Jamie Tandy, a teammate of his. Tandy required 2 hospital visits. Tandy admitted, jokingly, trying to set fire to Barton's shirt. Barton would have dust-ups with more teammates, including during his time with Newcastle, where he was labeled a bully. Nedum Anuaha stated on a podcast, "When Joey Barton decides that someone is fighting for his position, he'll do all sorts of stuff, kicking, talking, everything. So one day, Usman says, 'Nah, that's enough for me now.' Usman kicked him back. That was the same day that Joey knocked him out, held his head, and continued to hit him." Think about that visual. Barton has also said that he's not the guy who starts it, but he finishes it. This is something that he doesn't realize. He starts on his own by going after that player over and over and over again. And still to this day, he does not take any sort of punishment as being valid. He thinks he does no wrong at all times, does Joey Barton. Barton's brother Michael and his cousin Paul Taylor would be imprisoned for the racist murder, yes, murder, of Anthony Walker, and he was killed via axe. Okay? In a podcast interview, Joey Barton blamed Taylor and said his brother lost 17 years of his life due to Taylor's actions. Anthony's mom founded the Anthony Walker Foundation in an effort to tackle racism and take on prejudices in society. The CEO of the charity would say, and I quote, "It is worth noting that Michael Barton did not lose 17 years of his life. The only life lost that day was Anthony's, and not for 17 years, but forever." Exactly. How does he keep missing? How? I'll tell you how. I am not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing him. I just believe that he is ill in the head. I believe he is mentally gone. And if you see the people that he props up, the Jesse Lee Petersons, for example, this anti-woke culture that he wants to take on, a word that he uses a lot in his posts and in his interviews. It's not that I'm misogynistic. He focuses on one single word over and over, and it's meritocracy. This is a small-minded man. A small-minded man who should not be anywhere near the game. He can have his own show. That's fine. But a club taking a chance on him again after he was fired from his last managerial job? No, it should not happen. Barton would also serve 18 months for betting 1,260 bets, including on those he participated in. Though he would go on to say, I didn't bet on games that I would directly influence, meaning that he was on the bench or injured. We don't know if that is true. That is his assessment. He targeted one former striker for England, Eni Aluko, with social media posts where she feared for her safety. He likened her and another former women's player to serial killers, all because they talked about men's football. That's it. He disagrees with it so much that he will put a target on anyone's back, because that's who Joey Barton is. In addition, in 2021, he was forced to apologize when comparing a poor team performance to the Holocaust. So I ask you, knowing all of this, I think it was Rovers. Why did Rovers link with him in the first place? Why has he been given so many chances? I'm dumbfounded, truly. One of the worst human beings in all of world soccer. And yet, for some reason, the right wing, no matter where they are in the world, continue to prop him up to this day.
If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.